Hi everyone, I'm Alex from Mini Home Jungle, and today we're going to talk about propagating peperomias, which are one of the easiest plants to propagate, in my opinion. I love peperomias because there are so many different varieties that you can choose from to decorate, that it's really hard not to own any peperomias. And on top of that, peperomias are one of the easiest plants at all for propagating. What I love about them is that it's very easy to propagate them from leaves, and the success rate is about 95%, I would say. Like, in my opinion, really, I have managed to propagate almost every single leaf that I have tried. Here I will show you all the propagations I have, and maybe in the end we will pot some of the ones that are ready for potting. So this is my first ever peperomia in the world. I don't own any adult plants except for this one, if you count it as an adult plant, but yeah, it's still pretty small. So I will tell you the story of this plant. This is not the original one that I got. About 3 years ago, I got some leaf cuttings from a friend, and I had like 5 leaves. I will show you some pictures. And I propagated them. I had no idea how peperomia leaf propagation works. So I just stuck them in some soil and they all rooted. And from those 5 cuttings, I got 8 plants. Then most of them I gave them away, and I had like 2 plants left. One of which grew very big. And then eventually, before moving to Paris, I moved here about 3 months ago, 4 maybe now. Before moving here, I noticed that on my big peperomia, this one leaf that was almost on top of the plant, that was kind of getting a brown edge here. I suspect that it was because it was getting too much light. So I decided to cut it off and to propagate it because I was moving to Paris and I just wanted to bring some cuttings with me so I can have the beginning of my collection here. Then I put this in soil and it rooted without problems, but it took a very long time for it to start growing. I have these closed greenhouses which are heated, and there's a ton of humidity inside. And so I decided to put it inside and see if more humidity and warmth would do it well for growing a leaf. So you can see here that it actually did start growing a new leaf, a new plant. And this will hopefully grow into a nice and big plant soon. These here, along with these, are the most recent propagations I have done, and these ones are the oldest. These ones are about 4 months old. And I will show you every single one of them, how I did them. I will also tell you about this plant. This one, I got it about 3 months ago. I got it in one supermarket. There was a little greenhouse. Actually, I will show you. There was this thing, and it was super badly made. There were 3 plants inside. This, together with one e-resin and one other plant, I don't remember which one it was. They were just stuck inside with some moss, and I knew that wouldn't be a good idea, so I just took them out and I decided to propagate some leaves of this and repot it. At this moment, this particular plant is not doing very well. This is a Peperomia prostrata, and it's actually even flowering at the moment. These little spikes are its inflorescences. I kept it in a little plastic pot and I thought it was doing very well, and I decided to repot it in this yogurt ceramic pot, and I made a mistake. So it's starting to lose all its leaves, and I will try to propagate it again. Maybe these little stems are gonna be good for propagation. One myth that I managed to resolve is whether Peperomia prostrata leaf propagations work or not. And the answer is that yes, they do work, and I will show you what I have here. I'm not going to demonstrate propagation now because, as I said, I don't have any adult plants except for these 2, which don't even count as adult plants, I think. I will just tell you that any leaf, like, you just snip it off together with the little stem. You put it in the soil and that should work fine. It's recommended that you leave it calloused, you leave it get a little bit of a crust on top of the wound where you cut it for an hour or 2. That's pretty much it, and after an hour or 2 you just put it in the soil and it's going to work fine. Another important thing to consider before propagating is that you have a very well lit place where you will keep the containers. You don't need and you shouldn't use a space where you have direct sun, because this will scorch the leaves, and these are, as you can imagine, very sensitive when you're propagating them because they're just leaf cuttings. So yeah, just a very well lit place without direct sun should do just fine. And one more thing that I want to add is that you should never use leaves that have fallen off of your plant that are a little bit yellowed, because they will not root. You may use leaves that you have unintentionally knocked over from the plant and you have broken them. So I think, yeah, they are gonna root fine, but the yellowed ones not. Like the one I dropped just now, I don't think that's gonna root. So this is the most recent propagation box that I have of Peperomias. As you can see here, there is also some Ripsalis, but they're mainly Peperomias. These ones here are Peperomia prostrata cuttings. They're only leaves. You can see that some of them have sprouted little plantlets. And these are just very simple cuttings, like there's no stem, there's just a little bit of the petiole, which is the stem that's on the leaf, but it's just a leaf, there's no stem on it. As you can see, this is a little bit rooted. Then this is Peperomia Napoli Nights, and this is a bit of a failed propagation because I had one bigger leaf of this plant that rooted without problems. It made this little plantlet, and then I think I tried to transplant it too soon, and it started going bad. So now, as you can see, it's not doing very well. I'm trying to repropagate some leaves here and see if they can root and maybe make a little bit of roots and plants, but we will see how that goes. Then here we have some bigger leaves of the same Peperomia Napoli Nights. And I made a little bit of an experiment here because I didn't use the whole leaf with the petiole, but I cut the leaf in half. So here you will see half a leaf that is rooted from every vein. And it should make little plantlets from each of these 3 veins that it has. This is the other part of the leaf, and this is the root. Then here we have Peperomia quadriangularis. I had one bigger cutting of this plant. It is this. And it had rooted in water. But I wasn't sure that it was going to root because it has a very woody stem, and in my experience the woody stems don't work so well in propagation. So I took leaf cuttings because it's a Peperomia and I thought, it would work. And in fact, all of them have rooted without any problems. I still haven't had any plantlets from this plant, but we will see. I will probably make an update video. And this is the upper part of the leaf, which does not have any roots. I'm thinking that with this particular variety, this may not work, but the leaf is still not dead, so I will leave it for a little bit longer and see what will happen. This is the other recent container that I have. As you can see here, I'm using just any boxes that I can find. This is from some vapor cooking machine that I found, and I didn't need the machine, but I thought I could use this. It also has holes at the bottom. And here you can see all kinds of different Peperomias. These ones here, this one, and these are types of Peperomia Hope. This one I'm not exactly sure. It was sold as Peperomia Hope, but I'm not sure exactly which one it is. As you can see, it also rooted without problems. This one in particular has a little bit of an epidermal window, which means that it has like a transparent layer on top of the leaf, which allows the light to penetrate more easily, and it rooted without problems. This is another side of it, but it has not rooted. Or maybe, oh no, actually there is a root here. This is a lot more leaf cuttings of the Napoli Nights. Here I did another experiment where I cut the leaves in different segments, and they didn't do pretty bad. I mean, this one has a root. These two don't have roots yet. As you can see, it's just plain. But I'm hoping, since they're still whole, that they will work. This is a cutting of Peperomia Ruby Cascade, and this one did not root. And I have two more cuttings that have been in the box for like 3 months in the other box, but they have not made roots, so I'm thinking that maybe this variety is not very good for propagation from leaf. And here we have Peperomia caperata, which has beautiful roots and even a little plantlet here. And this one is a leaf segment of the same plant with amazing roots. These ones are about 1.5 months old, like 6 weeks old, and it rooted without any problems. This one and this one are cuttings of watermelon peperomia, but are not doing very well because they were from a plant that was slowly dying, and I just decided to take some cuttings. It was a friend's plant, and propagate them, but so far they haven't made any roots. And here I just have some strings of hearts that are very easy to propagate in this way. This is the oldest propagation box with Peperomias I have, and as you can see, they have almost all of them have made new plants. Okay, so this one is Peperomia caperata, the red variety, and it's, as you can see, as well as the green one, it had no problems rooting, and I think there are even 2 plants in here, but I will leave them grow for a little bit longer and then we will see. This one here is Peperomia rosso, and I don't think you can see here, I don't want to disturb the plants, but this leaf was kind of broken in half vertically when I decided to propagate it. And I thought it would actually die because it wasn't doing very well in the beginning, but in the end it rooted from 4 places, from 4 spots, and now it has like 4 different plants inside. This one, I'm not sure which species this is. I think this is a Peperomia maculosa, but the mother plant from which I took this cutting was very small, so I couldn't tell very easily which species it was. This one rooted very quickly, but even after 4 months in this container, it still hasn't made any baby. I think I can see inside something little green, but it's not nearly grown as much, so I can show it on camera. This one is the most satisfactory propagation. It's also 4 months old, and it made this beautiful plant, and there may be even 2 or 3 plants inside here. And it grew very well, as you can see. These ones are the Peperomia prostrata leaf cuttings, and as you can see, these have made such nice babies, and this one has roots from all over the stem. These ones are again the Peperomia Ruby Cascade cuttings, which are still alive but have not rooted. And this one is a Peperomia watermelon, Peperomia argyria, which has rooted and has a little baby there. So I'm very happy about that. Well, this was my little Peperomia propagation tour. I hope you liked my propagations. For me, it's very satisfying to look at them, and I practically look at them every day. I open the containers. I know I'm not supposed to touch them, but I still do it every day because it's very satisfying. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Make sure to check out my Instagram page, and please like, comment if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see similar videos in the future. Bye! very well. This is a Peperomia. Oops, I lost a leaf.